What's up with it? Hey guys, it's Meg and Jeanette. You can call me Meg.
And it's your boy Greg. What's happening?
And welcome back to Get It Together. Woo!
Fire.
So if it's your first time joining us, welcome.
Fire.
We are serving you relationship advice and marriage advice, and by saying all the things that you want to say to your partner, but won't.
Sweetest taboo.
Yes. You better sing, baby. Okay.
All right.
How are you?
What is up? What's up? What's happening?
I mean, all good things are happening. Work is good. I am thriving. You know, I used to just survive at work, but now I'm like thriving and loving what I'm doing, opening up new clinics and stuff. And we just opened a College Park clinic. I'm a physical therapist, by the way, for those that don't know. But yeah, so it's been bomb.
Did you just flex?
I mean, I'm like
that
a
was
lead.
like weird.
It's kinda like
how
a big
you
deal.
did that. Just opened a couple clinics. I'm a physical therapist.
But
I'm alright.
it's just, I mean, we'll get into that later, but it's just, God's been good. So I'm good. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I'm in this weird space where I'm in between. I just left a job and I'm working another job, and then I'm also chasing my dream at the same time. So I'm in this like weird space where everything's great, but at the same time you do question
Everything
because you're just trying to make sure, did I make the right decision? Did I make it? Or am I sure this is what I'm like, not the dream, just like the job part. Like, am I sure? All right. So yeah, it's good though, because it's like at least I'm challenging myself to know that I am a hard worker and I want more.
Yeah.
So I'm not making an excuse to say, well, all because I'm chasing my dream, I can get a BS job. So that's where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fine though.
I get that.
Everything's okay. Eye twitch.
Yes.
Everything's okay.
Great letting your eye twitch on command though.
Yeah.
I see you, actor. But
I could do that when I was young.
oh, my bad.
You just don't know how to control your eyes.
Yeah, I don't.
That's how it feels to have a lazy eye. You can do whatever you want with your eye.
Wow. Lazy eye, stand up.
Lazy eye. Hey, Forrest Whitaker ain't a winner for a reason, man.
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker ain't the man he is for no reason.
Shut up.
That lazy eye got magic.
Stupid.
Bars.
Oh my God. Anyway, let's get into the taboo topic of the day.
All right.
What are we chatting about?
Man, so, being married is a blessing. And as we said last time, we talked about the ups and downs of how we met, how we were friends, just the overall aspect of like, and I say aspect a lot. Y'all gonna hear me say aspect all the time. I feel like it's a big word for some reason.
It's not.
It's really not. It's like 5 letters, I think.
As long as we all know it's not. But keep going. Stay with it.
Here it is, college graduate, like making me feel bad. It's okay. I don't care.
It's okay.
Streets.
College grads are not better than anyone else, so whatever.
Okay, physical therapist. So being married is a blessing, but is being married a blessing when you're also transitioning new careers and moving to a brand new place?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that before we just get into like our spice?
I mean, looking back on things, I think that we got married and we just hit the ground running, and transitioning made it a lot harder than what it would have been if we were just in the same like space or place, because we really had to work together really hard to switch careers and to move, and it created lots of stress.
It did. And for those that, of course, a lot of y'all know, but for those that don't know, we did move to Atlanta we moved to Georgia from Texas.
Yeah.
We both are homegrown Texans. I'm Houston, she's Dallas, lived there our whole lives. But she's the one that like, she can go. She can hop on a plane and go. That's her thing. And not just go, but it's like she knows how to do it. Me, I'm more of the I want to stay home my whole life. So when we both decided that we're growing, I've been around my family my whole life, and you have the attitude to be able to say, okay, I can be away from my people. I don't have to be, I can see them on occasion. It'll feel good to miss my family.
Yeah.
We both decided that for career-wise, for me being an actor, and I could be a fireman anywhere, and you being in physical therapy and just, branching out to see what physical therapy takes you and the different aspects of like this podcast and our brand, we decided Atlanta is probably the best place.
Yep.
So the transition from moving there was tough.
Yeah.
It was extremely tough, and we can get into that a little bit. So, um, how did you get down here? Because that is a kind of a big
So,
thing.
yeah, it is. So, we were lucky enough to have both of our fathers separately drive us.
Yes.
So, my dad drove me down here from Dallas.
Right.
And he helped me kind of get transitioned because I stayed with my friend when you weren't here.
Yeah, because I had just got the academy, and
Yeah.
I literally was working at I worked for Houston Fire Department, and I at least wanted to get a month of experience before I left, and plus build some paychecks up,
Yeah.
So it was like I didn't know if I came down here how long it was going to take for me to get a fire job. I didn't know how long it was going to take, so I was like, well, babe, I need to work for at least a month, maybe a month and a half. So that transition of like I have my newlywed bride coming down here like in a brand new city that I have no idea. Like I've been here before, but I've never like lived here. Don't know
Yeah.
nothing about. I mean, you hear so much about Atlanta. You hear so much about every place. So it's
Yeah.
just like, what do I do? So I worked, and then I said I'm gonna drive down there. I'm gonna get a U-Haul. I'm gonna drive. My dad wanted to go with me. I was like, no at first. You were like great with it because it was like, oh, daddy's girl, first of all. And then second of all, I was like, dad helped me
Huge
set up
daddy's girl.
so much. For me, it was like I wanted to be the man. Like I don't need nobody helping me. I'm the man. I do this. But then my dad was like, well, this is my chance to spend a little more time with you for 10 hours before I let you go. And I was like, I get that. That's my dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, my mom, I don't think my mom wanted to do it because my mom was strong, but I think this time knowing that I was actually leaving, not college leaving, I think she was going to cry. She can watch this and say, you can watch this and say you weren't going to cry. I know you were going to cry. So don't patience. My mom named Patience. Patience, you gonna cry. I don't care. So yeah, it was just a transition of that and bringing my dad down here. But just even before that, you came down here with your dad. Y'all, we have what kind of? I don't know cars like that. I don't care for cars.
What kind of car do
You have, yeah. I always
Toyota
forget.
4Runner?
So it's a big car. You can fit a lot of
Yeah.
stuff on there.
Yeah.
So me, I have a little car. And I have a Nissan Versa. So of course I'm like, I can drive down there. That's fine. But packing all that stuff, and we decided that the task of bringing the furniture was going to be with me.
Yeah.
So it was the fact that I had to put my car on a U-Haul, on a
trailer for
a trailer for the U-Haul, and then drive the U-Haul down there with my dad. First of all, it was crazy because the U-Haul was sending me so many circles. They were like taking me so many ways. I had to go from one Pearland location to the other Pearland location to the other Pearland.
Yeah. And we really just needed a U-Haul.
We just needed a
because we need to
U-Haul.
bring your big AWS TV down here.
I don't care.
That's the only reason
You
why
ain't
we're
hurting
going
my
to U-Haul
feelings.
to move here.
I asked for one thing. Do I ask for a lot? I don't ask for a lot, do I? What I ask for?
But not a lot.
I don't buy.
You just wanted
I don't
this
have
huge
hold
TV
on.
to watch football
Let
on.
me
But
go down the
I just
list.
need to say that is why we had to rent a U-Haul to travel from Houston to Atlanta. Not because we had lots of stuff, because we didn't come down here much. We had to get a U-Haul for a TV to fit in.
Hold on. I'm not gonna sit
that.
here and talk about like what I've like bought or things like that. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Let me ask this. You got a record player. You got a hold on. No, wait. I'm gonna get to it. You got a record player. You got a Mac. A MacBook, you got a lot of things that you've hinted at, even though you're like, I don't need it. It would just feel good to want it. I've always said when I first met you and I went to your parents' house and I saw their big AWS TV, I said, I want a TV, but I want it bigger. I don't want nothing else.
You chose the perfect time to buy a month before we moved.
A month before we moved. I didn't care. It couldn't go because we were moving out of our apartment. It couldn't go in our apartment. I told my aunt, I said, hey, can I put this TV in y'all living room? And she was very much, she was like, sure. She was like, I don't care. Put it in there, put it in the U-Haul, brought it down.
It's fine. It's
I don't
now.
care.
We moved on.
You ain't hurt my feelings.
Obviously, the TV was an issue.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you ain't gonna hurt me. I wanted that.
It's
I feel
fine.
like that's my graduation gift.
Yes.
Yeah. So there we go.
And even with that, so you were working at the fire department in Houston for like a month.
Oh, like a month.
Before you left.
I put my 2 weeks notice. First of all my friends were pissed. The ones that I graduated with, they were like, we went through the fire together. We went through the storm and the rain together. You just leaving? But they all knew you're an actor, Greg. Yeah, because They saw it.
Yeah, they knew what the vision
They
was.
were very like love. They were loving about it. They're very supportive. My family was very loving. They were supportive. My friends outside the academy were loving and supportive. They knew like, nah, Greg, you gotta go. This is the time. Yeah. So came out here, left my job, and our first conversation, real conversation with me and you was, you're gonna be working. I'm not gonna have a job for a while. I really was just about, because I used to Lyft drive. I was like, I'm just gonna try to get my license, everything straightened out. I'm gonna drive Lyft and find an EMT job. That was the plan. I was planning. I had interviews for EMT jobs already before I even moved. The day that I was moving, I'm not gonna say the city. I don't want to give them no type of like whatever.
Yeah.
One of the fire departments out here called me and said, "Hey, Mr. Harris, we saw your application, and we want to see if we could do a phone interview first real quick." And I was like, "Yeah," because in my mind I'm like, "Oh, they're just doing an interview. I'm probably still not gonna get nothing." Then literally, I did the phone interview. 2 days later, they called me as I'm in Atlanta. I'm in here now, and I'm looking at my wife. My wife went to work. My dad, he stayed a couple of days. So my dad was asleep on the air mattress, and I was, I think I just went to the gym, and I just started working out. And the same lady called me. She said, "Hey, Miss Harris, we want to do an interview tomorrow." I was, what?
Very fast.
I was like, wow, it took like 4 months to get through Houston's process and get in their academy. Like not even 4, I think like 6 months. So this was crazy. So then I did the interview, and like a week later I got the job. So that was exciting, because it was like, get a fire job because their schedules are a little better. And then get into my acting stuff. So then the process, I was going to acting workshops. I was going into a lot of seminars to kind of help like get my foot on, like get on the ground running and stuff. So
and learn about the business.
Yeah. So I started working for the fire department. It was beautiful. I loved it. I love the fire department where I worked for. I'm never going to say anything bad about them because I have nothing to say bad about them. I loved it. I left, but I wish I could have stayed. If I was to like say my dream department, that was my dream department. I love
let
it.
the cat out the bag.
Yeah.
You said you left.
Yeah. Oh no, I said Fargo. Before we move on, I did leave, but they'll realize in a little bit why I left. So Dad drove us down here. I moved from fire department to fire department. So let me ask you, knowing that you were gonna have a husband that probably was gonna be out of a job for a little bit, how did that feel? Just that small stress for like that little while that I didn't have a job for like 4 days.
Yeah, my first mom was going to get my...
She's about to leave me, y'all.
No, my independent woman answer, but I'm going to get my wife answer too.
So you was about to SHIT on them.
I was about to do it, but like I said, I am growing.
She's about to say, I don't need no man to make no money. I can do this all by myself. I could do this all by myself. What's that movie? Think Like a Man. You don't need a man because you act like you are a man.
You are a man, Robin. Yeah. No.
Dang, I'm the whole husband.
I got attacked on YouTube by people when I was on that one podcast talking about like, oh, she doesn't need whatever.
Go ahead, independent woman.
But no, as a wife, that definitely. It was hard to think about in the beginning because it was just weird because like you just don't know.
You never know
when you're gonna get a job, when it's gonna happen.
That sucks.
You were feeling all depressed because like you didn't really have a job. I just think you were just confused because you were like, I finished the fire academy. I'm a firefighter in Houston. Now I'm leaving and I'm going to Atlanta. And now I got to be a firefighter there. And you just really didn't know what was going to happen.
I wouldn't say depressed about not having a job. It was just depressed as not depressed. I was more of anxious because like I'm a new husband and I'm not going to have a job.
You just wanted to provide.
Yeah. So it wasn't, I was very like jittery. Like, what do I do now?
You just weren't yourself.
I would have worked at a construction site if I had to.
Process. Yeah. Like I just could tell that you were not the happy, joyful, giddy Greg that I knew who I married. You were this other person who had stress on them, who was trying to figure out what was going to happen next. Did I make the right decision? Should I have stayed where I was at? Am I really going to be able to like become an actor? It was just so many questions in your mind. And so for me at that point in time, I was just like, okay, well, I'm established. And so I have my thing going and like, I know it, like I am figuring out like my career is here. And so I just wanted to try to be as supportive as I could for you in that point in time. So the only way I knew I could be supportive was financially because I just feel like emotionally, I don't think I was doing a good job at that because I'm very cutthroat
I would say I was okay because I know you're cutthroat, so I wasn't expecting that. My old issue was you are very cutthroat, so
I know.
it came with I knew I was like I'm not afraid of her like giving me it like emotional advice. I'm okay. She's okay over there. I don't need her to try to be nice and be like, they're there.
Well, I mean, I just
It'll
trying to
it'll
figure
be
it
better,
out.
and I'm like, I don't need that. No, I think it was more of like you were doing fine, and to be real, I was enjoying like staying home.
Being a stay-at-home husband.
I was a stay-at-home husband for like a week. I was like,
I'm
all
glad
right.
you admit it.
I was like, shit, all right, cool. I ain't gotta do nothing.
It? Well, I couldn't tell you were enjoying. You seemed like you were annoyed.
I was annoyed. I was like, I do want to make money, but then when I got the job, because you have to wait before you start working. So that was probably like a week and a half before I got the job. I was like, I already got the job. I ain't worried about it. I'm just gonna Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, catch up on the shows, eating snacks,
getting fat. That's what she was doing. I'm just out here hustling in the A.
She was out here rolling up her sleeves. Like, I'm talking about making it happen. I was over here like enjoying the scenery.
I'm glad you got to have that, babe. My time is coming.
Oh, it is.
I know. I know. It's well overdue.
I can't stand her, babe. I can't stand her.
Oh my gosh.
No, but once I did get a job, once I actually got that, that part together, and you saw how excited I was, you saw how happy I was. Explain to me that relief that you felt and that feeling of establishment at the time. Like you knew like, okay, he has a fire job.
Yeah.
He's getting into acting. It's about to be great. How did that feel at that moment?
I mean, I was excited because I felt like the fact that you got a job so quickly and you were starting your career, and with both of them, like you were starting your fire career and your acting career, I felt like we were moving in the steps that God wanted us to. I felt that we were following exactly what we felt.
Right.
I think that it was making sense to me, and I was like, okay, the fact that he got everything started so fast that now we're at the point where we can start coasting and figuring out what our finances look like, how do we budget? I mean, honestly, both of us really just became adults as when we moved here.
Yeah.
We never had to worry about that before. I mean, I really had just gotten through residency, so I really never had to be on my own.
There was like no...
so it's been a huge learning curve.
Right. There was really like no like big thing where it was like, oh, I have to do all of this and be an adult and survive. It was more like for you, it was like, I have to do all of this and I just have to survive.
Yeah.
Like the adult aspect wasn't crazy, either for both of us, because I would say our families are we're very close with both of our families.
Yeah.
So our families, like through the steps of like through life after high school and after college for you per se, they were
supportive.
Very supportive. Like your dad, your mom and dad made sure you were fine. And I lived with my parents and I saw my family, like my whole family, like every other day. So we never knew the point of being on our own.
Yes,
like that.
And having to survive.
Yeah,
on our own.
Even when we lived in Houston together, we would still go over my grandma and my aunt's house.
There was always food.
It was always
it's not like we had to feed for ourselves.
Always make sure you're with your family, people. Always make sure you're with your family, like you love your family, because you never know when you're not gonna be able to have money to eat. Because when that pandemic hit,
love your family.
When that pandemic hit, and them groceries were coming in thin because Kroger was closed. H-E-B, they don't have H-E-B in Atlanta. H-E-B in Houston was closed. And I'm talking about Walmart wasn't only letting like 30 people in at a time. And your aunt and your grandma stacked up food for 4 months. That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
That is facts. That was very nice.
So I would say the point of like being an adult, of course, you get your own place, you get a job. And you make sure you got everything done with your car, all your licenses and stuff. But it's different when you move to a new city. And not just a new city, a new state.
Yeah, a new state.
So, So now I'm not going to say city because state-wise, you can do everything in that city.
Yeah.
So the process of getting stuff together when you're moving to a new state, please, like just, first of all, I think I went through the burner of just like, checking it out. You actually went through the burner before I got my stuff together. So how did that feel when I literally just went in and just like, oh, you're supposed to do this, but you actually did it before me. So how did that feel? Like everything that you did and everything you're going to need.
As far as figuring out what we needed to really be in a new state.
Yes.
I mean, that was hard, and that kind of came as a shock for me because even whenever we moved, no one told
Nobody said
us
anything.
everything you had to switch over. And I think that's created lots of stress because I didn't know. Obviously, I knew I had to switch over like my license plate,
Hey,
my
that's
driver's
new.
license.
Yeah, that's like, all right.
But no one in, I mean, people might think that, okay, they're so naive. Whatever. I'm 28. It's fine. I don't care. But
No,
I didn't know as far as like my car insurance, it had to be like Georgia. I was still on my like parents' insurance by that time.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. And so we had to figure all that out. And then we didn't have time to like shop around for insurance because it had to be like fast getting it done. Because be sure also that
this is a teaching moment for people. This is not like a moment where we're like just talking about like our downfall, because there are gonna be those 100%ers. They're like, you didn't know all that. You didn't have. But there are people that are older than us. They're like, I moved to a new state for the first time. I have no idea what to expect.
Never moved.
Yes.
So
it's difficult.
Like, yeah. And so it's just like switching over like the car insurance and having to be sure that I got my license and license plate within a certain time frame, which I didn't, and the state will penalize you for that big time. Like, so have a beef with Georgia right now, but it's fine. Yeah. Already paid it. But literally, it's just like little stuff like that no one said, I didn't know, and we just kind of had to figure it out. And like you got like advice from people at your job, and then like my parents are kind of giving advice, but not really much. Like they really know what's going on.
I was gonna say that because I was gonna say I know your parents moved from Louisiana to Texas, but I could say that was a while ago, so they didn't have to go through all this. They probably had to like change a couple things. As many
like state tax. No, well, it doesn't have a state tax anyway.
But not like
Georgia has a state tax. Not like that was a huge difference too. Like realizing that we went from a state where there was no like state tax as far as like when you get paid versus like being here now in Georgia, there is. And so, and it's not that, I don't know, some people may think it was a really big deal. I just feel like it hasn't been, but I guess it kind of depends on whatever.
Yeah. No, but I can say, you know, getting your license. I think I did I do that first or you did that first? The license.
You figured out the driver's license.
Yeah, so I went to, because I remember now, I was getting my what is it called? It was right there, then it left. Passport. Because we were getting ready for our honeymoon.
Yes.
I was getting my passport, and I remember you sent me a text saying, babe, see if you can figure out driver's license, all that stuff, like, since you're there. I filled out all the stuff online for the passport process. I sent it in, and I was walking away, then I remembered, I got to go back and do this. So when I went back up there to talk to the lady, it was like she said, okay, for the driver's license part, just go do this. Yeah. And then for... what is it? It was change of address. She said, go online so you can get your mail. This. So you have to change of address. You got to go online. You can't do in front of nobody. The driver's license, you just fill out a paper and you just go up there. It literally took me you what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I think it took me like.
Because Georgia has a good system.
It's like a minute. Yeah, they do. Their DMVs do not play.
Yeah.
You walk in.
I do appreciate that.
It was a lady that was allowed in mine, and the security guard said, "Ma'am, leave." He was not playing. He's like, we do not do this here. It was like there was no line.
Yeah.
There were like kids in there getting their driver's license in and out. So when I walked in, she said, come sit down, sweetheart. I sat down. She's like, all right, you switching over license? All right, cool. Next.
Facts.
Like, is it Texas? There's like 2 lines outside.
Yes.
And you're there for 2 hours.
Yeah. I know. But seriously though, like I think just for us, we just like to give feedback into whenever we've done things that have not been as easy and we figure it out on our own. And I just would rather be able to be the resource to allow people to, you know, have something that they can like go off of if they are planning on moving state to state. So we did like put together a little moving states kit and like what you need to, the most important things to know. So you don't have to end up paying, $500 to the state because you did something wrong.
Jesus Christ.
So you don't have to do that. Like, not saying it happened to me. But
call on Jesus.
Yes, facts.
He's over there struggling.
Yeah. But yeah, so our Move States kit.
Yes. Our Move States kit. So first off, you want to make sure you check I keep saying DPS and DMV. It's probably wrong. It's probably just DMV. But we put DPS/DMV because
Department of Public Safety, right?
Yeah, but
DMV is the
But you only go to one of them
for MV motor.
Motor
Motor
vehicle.
vehicle?
Department of Motor
We look
Vehicles.
so stupid.
No, I'm telling you, it's Department
It
of Motor
is?
Vehicles. Yeah.
Okay.
But one of them you go for your what was it? I see, I lost it again.
It's okay. They know.
Your passport. One of them you have to go there for your passport. I think that's the DPS.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's the DPS. You go there for your passport. For DMV, you go there to change your license. So make sure that's like the first thing you do in a way, just in case you get pulled over too.
Yeah.
So
And just to clarify, Greg was getting a passport because he didn't have a passport.
I never had a
If
passport.
you move a state, you need a passport.
No, I just didn't.
Like, no,
yeah.
that's not. I'm like, that's getting confusing.
Nah, you going
So
to
you stop talking about your passport.
you going to Idaho.
Oh
you need a passport, big dog.
Sometimes you gotta dumb it down. No, don't go switch your passport.
You're like,
He's
hey, where
your license.
Where in Atlanta you going, Greg? I'm on a Buckhead. I need my passport. It's a porno. Hey, what you doing right here, cut? It's a porno. It's a porno.
Stop. You made me cry.
No, so I know for that, go to the website first to get all the paperwork and fill out stuff. That's the biggest thing. Then to do change of address, that's all website. You don't have to worry about no paperwork. Go to USPS, do the change of address. I think I did the one that was short term, so I have to do ours over because the one that it's like a couple more papers you have to fill out to do that to where it changes your full address. For the USPS to just get I did the short term, so we did it for I think 4 months, 5 months. So we were getting our mail for 4 or 5 months, and now it's going back to my aunt's house again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, they said they'll send it.
Okay.
I said, okay, I need to get back on USPS. Also, change your car insurance, like she said, because
yes,
car insurance.
Shop around. If you can plan better than us, shop around before you go to the state about your car insurance. You don't have to just hurry up and get something because you ran behind on time.
Because my car insurance was like 100. My car, mine alone, because I was on mine alone was just like 100.
Yeah, you were paying your own car insurance. I was still on my parents.
Yeah, and then I came over here, and they was like, God, the first time you said, hey, babe, look online for insurance. All right, I looked online. They said $500, $400, $300.
Okay, yeah. That's crazy.
I was like, whoa. I don't like this.
But yeah, so definitely shop around before so you can know.
And then just like she said, know your the deadline for registering your car
with the state.
With the state.
Because in Georgia, it was 30 days. You have 30 days to change all that stuff. So license and then register your car. And then I didn't realize that if you don't do it in that 30 days time frame, then they're going to penalize you $200+ whenever you actually register your car.
So let me ask you a question. What would you say to those people that haven't done it yet and the 30 days are passed?
Oh, well, I would say just say your car got here a week ago.
You're not telling them to lie. Wink. Wink. She's not telling you how to lie.
If you don't do you got here January, like my dope self did, and you're applying now in May,
and then actually put down
30 day,
and then you put down
they were gonna.
Oh yeah, I got here in January. Oh, okay.
So don't just be smarter than the system, so you can save some money.
A little bit here and there.
We could have used that on vacation, but it's fine. It's gone now.
So
it's fine.
I know that for me moving down here, it was a blessing when I got my job. We're getting back on that because now this is a pivotal part of where everything is about to hand off to the stress. Because it crumbled for a little. It crumbled for a little bit, but then it got right back on track in a way. There was, I was comfortable with my job. Then there were some things with my license, with my certifications.
Fire certifications.
Yeah, my fire certifications where I had to get them in Georgia. So it was fine because, I was like, okay, that's cool. I didn't want to do it, but I was like, that's fine. But I failed 2 of them because they do it so different here. And they do certain things different, which is it's weird, but it's also I get it. That you can see why. In a way, and then states just they're not linked up with each other to say, all right, we're going to come to a 50-state meeting about what firefighters do in IDLH situations.
Yeah.
So, no, every state has their own way of doing it. They have
IDLH.
Immediate danger to health and life.
IDH. Okay.
IDHL.
First of
IDL.
If you don't know.
No, immediate danger to life and health.
Okay,
IDLH.
I was going to say,
IDLH.
you used that really fast. We all knew what you were talking about. And I was just like, I'm not a fighter.
IDLH.
I thought you were doing
immediate danger to life and health.
Okay, got it. We're back. I'm back.
Physical therapist.
Why would I need to know that?
She's a graduate. She's supposed to be smart.
Everyone knows different things.
You're supposed to be smart.
Shut up, bro.
No, but with that, they do different things so differently, like going through a confined space with your air pack on and breathing air. And in Texas, you can do it 5 different ways. In Georgia, they want you to do it the one way. And the one time I went to take the test, I did it the way that they didn't want me to do it, and I failed. And then when I did it, they didn't tell me why I failed. They just sent another instructor in there, and then boom, I did it the same way. Except for this time, I didn't. I just unbuckled my strap so it wouldn't be too much in the way. They failed me. No, but I didn't know. So then the second time I went, I failed 3 things.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I failing? I really was.
Man, that was a hard time.
It was. So I was very irritated, stressed. Yeah. I was definitely like, I've been depressed before, a long time ago, before I even met Megan. This is around the time when I was like looking for like what I wanted to do in life. I was getting to that point. I was like, I am failing, and I'm already a firefighter. Like, I feel so embarrassed.
Yeah, and I even like thinking about that right now, because it was just hard for me, because it just sucks whenever you see somebody going, especially the person that you love, going through something like that. Yeah. And I'm like, I just want to go take the test for him, and just like, thinking of all these like crazy, I don't know, euphoric things. I'm just like, because it sucks to see the person hurting. Like, you're trying so hard, and I could just see how it was affecting you a lot. Because you're like, why do I have to do all this? Like, I already went through this academy.
I'm already a fireman.
I was fireman in Houston, so why is it? And I understood. Like, I really got it, with me, I'm like, okay, what can I do to help? Can I help him do his skills? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I don't know what skills.
Because there's also a self-entitlement with me where I'm like, I'm already a fireman. I don't need to study this. I'm not, because you were saying, babe, are you studying? And I would pick the book up and like read it, go through it, like all that. And then I'm like, I don't need to study anymore.
So you weren't studying?
No, I was studying.
Okay.
I really was.
Like, are you admitting me?
Because I was really actually studying, but like, I'm not about to study like I'm in the academy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like in the academy where every day that book got to be open, and it's like an hour and a half. You got to like flip through pages, highlight. Like, when you actually was seeing me study in the academy, being a whole fireman now, I've been through it. I'm done. I'm tired. I just got out of school. And then on top of that, being in Georgia, you have to be a advanced EMT.
Yeah.
You can't be you could be a regular EMT, but to be a fireman, you have to be an advanced EMT. So I'm like, all right, I'm a basic EMT, so now I got to get my advanced license. I knew that was coming. No, that was fine. I accepted that. Yeah. I was like, that's okay.
And the issue with that, just making understand, is that in Texas, they don't really recognize.
They don't recognize advanced EMT.
Either you're an EMT or you're a paramedic. There's not in between. Is not recognized.
Like, I know this is way in Houston, it's like you're a basic or you're a paramedic. If you're advanced or a intermediate, we pay you basic. We don't pay you nothing more. In other departments, they say you're a basic. Okay, we'll send you to paramedic school. That's literally all they do. They're like, you're going to paramedic school, or you in order to be a fireman at my station, you had to be a paramedic already. Yeah. Because I know Galveston, they were recruiting me. They wanted me to. This was like around the time I met you. Remember, I went to clinicals that time. And I stayed. Yeah, he was recruiting me in a way. He's like, do it now, because next year you have to be a paramedic and to get in. And the guys that are basics right now, they're safe for 2 years, so that gives them a 2-year gap to like study and like get it together and stuff. So that Texas has changed. They're like, well, you gotta be paramedic. Here, they don't even know. You gotta be advanced EMT.
So all of that was going on there, making you like you had to go to advanced EMT school, and then on top of that with acting.
And then acting, I'm like, don't know. I know what I'm doing. I got I got headshots. I just joined a class. My advanced EMT school was running into my class schedule, so I couldn't go to acting class some days. I had to go to advanced EMT class because you only get like
that was killing.
That was destroying me because like I'm like spending advanced EMT. I didn't spend no money. With my acting class, I'm spending money. Yeah. So I'm losing my investment.
Yeah.
Then they, with the department I was working at, they wanted you to go to get so many other certifications. They want you to get your car seat tech. They want you to get your certification in like it was like different ones, like learning how to like. It was so I just like, couldn't do it.
It was a lot. I think that
running into each other.
Yeah, it's just the fact of you like leaving. Whenever you left, how did that decision come about? Like, really, what was like kind of the dropping the point that you're like, I have to leave this in order for me to truly do what I came here to do? Because you didn't come to Georgia to be the
I didn't
firefighter
come
of
to
the
Georgia to
year.
be a fireman.
That's
No,
not why
I
we're
came to
here.
Georgia to literally
Like,
get
that's
my.
not what we're
I came to
doing.
Georgia to get my acting on and like progress in the career field of being someone on camera. That's literally what I came here for.
Yes.
The decision was, I remember literally sitting on the couch. I had got 2 roles. Remember, I had got those 2 auditions, and I got 2 auditions. I had advanced EMT schoolwork at the same time. I had my book in front of me of my fire certifications that I had to study. And then I remember earlier that day you were upset. No, you were upset. Yeah, no, you were upset. You were upset that we had stopped. We weren't going to church for like going on 2.5 months.
Yeah.
We didn't go to church for 2.5 months. And church is a big. I don't care how much I talk about my religious family and how like, oh my God, I was in church every Sunday. I was that person that loved going to church. So for me, looking at all that being on the table, it was like I need help. So with the insurance I had, I sought out, I text my wife, I called her, and I can hear the relief in her voice. I called her, I said, babe, I need to go to a therapist. I feel like I'm losing myself right now. I don't know where I am. I don't know who I am. I don't know. I feel like I'm an imposter in my own body. Like I worked so hard to be a fireman, but now I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. And I just got this job, and these people at this job are so grateful to have me. I just couldn't do it. And the relief in your voice was like, look for a therapist, man. Thank God. That's the first thing. Because you told me, I didn't want to tell you, but I felt like you needed to go to a therapist or seek out therapy. I sought out therapy for 3 weeks. And this is between all this stuff that I just said that was on my table that was going on. 3 weeks. My therapist, which black people get a therapist that is black. I got a male black therapist, and he wasn't that proper. I'm a read it to you from the book type of therapist. He was, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, Greg. You need to tell your wife that you want to leave your job. And I remember terrified. I was like, I do not want to tell my wife I want to leave my job. I just got a job and all that. So I remember he said, well, look for other jobs while you're doing it. He said, don't just quit. So I sought out some jobs. Then I found an EMT company that the schedule is actually great. The schedule is pretty good. Some weeks I don't make enough hours, but then other weeks, like, oh, I work too much. Like this week, I think I worked every day this week. And I literally like sought out for an interview. The lady, a supervisor, she called me a week, like a couple of days later. Next week, I did the interview, and I told you, I said, babe, I'm going to an interview for an EMT job. And you were like, why? I'm like, I need to leave.
Yeah.
And your response was everything to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was the fact that I'm like this scared little puppet that just peed on the carpet. That's how I felt, because I'm like, I feel like she is about to, like, she's about to leave.
Man.
So when you said, I'm happy that you found something else and just didn't quit, she's like, do it.
Yeah.
I was like, are you sure? Because do it. We looked, then after the interview, we sat down, we calculated, and it actually turned out I was going to be making almost a little bit more, close to a little bit more than what I was making at the department.
Yeah, so it just made
I was
sense.
like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then overall, because I could see that your mental health was draining. I could see that it was going down. And honestly, at the end of the day, no matter what goes on in life, for me, what's most important is that I want my husband to be happy with his life, happy with what's going on, and to be excited about being here. Right. So if you are not mentally all the way here and you're feeling like you're not at the place that you want to be, or you're just not there, then what good is that to me? Like, why would I put, okay, like, well, you need to be a firefighter and this is your career, you need to do this, before he needs help and he's not happy, and let's go and be happy. And I think that lots of times whenever we try to explain this to other people, and not that we really need to, because who really cares our life, but I think that was different. What's been hard with, let's say, like our parents' generation, we kind of talk to them, explain this to them, is that for them, I've seen them like hate a job they worked their whole life and be literally like mentally dying and not saying anything about it, just keep going, like they can't transition. And I'm like, I don't want that for us. Like, I want us to be happy with what we're doing.
Right.
And there's so many other options out there. So I'm like, I don't want to wake up one day, here we are at like 38, and we're looking like, what am I doing here? Why am I want you to be like, why am I still a fireman? I hate this. I feel depressed. This is sad. I wanted to be an actor. I didn't have time. Like, you never transition. So it's just like that. And that's what's most important to me. Like, I always look at the long term. Like, okay, what is this going to look like in the long term? What is he actually here to do?
Right.
So whenever you said that you were like going to leave and you found someone, I said, great, let's do it. Because, and I've seen the change. Like, you are better.
I'm like happier now.
You are back to being who I married.
I'm in,
you're
like-
not this
I'm in acting
zombie.
class. I'm like going to like
Yes.
the different workshops. I'm like building my resume. I booked 2 roles.
Yeah. You told him.
Yeah, I told her I booked 2 roles. There it is.
Yes.
Hey.
No, praise God. Yes.
Yeah, I booked 2 roles.
It's happening.
I've had like, I think I've had what? I think if I look at my Actors Access account,
You've had lots of auditions.
50 auditions.
Yes. You had lots of auditions.
50. And these aren't like, and some are like, low budget stuff. Some are like small things, but a lot of these auditions I've gotten are like big productions and stuff. I was like,
and to speak to that, because you just started, and just like, God really works in serious ways, because you just started this. We just moved here. It's only been like 3 to 4 months we've been here. And like people have told you,
4 months.
I don't do math.
Oh my God.
Oh wait, we moved in January, so now it's September, so it's just 9. It's 9 months. I don't do math.
Make sure we don't edit that out. Make sure we keep that.
Whatever.
And every time she says something to me, I need this clip. Every time she says something to me, I need this clip.
I don't do math. Anyway, but yeah, it's just, lots of people that they told you that it's rare for you to be getting this many auditions. Like, some people have just gone acting classes for years and years, like 1 and 2 years before they actually get an audition. And you've had so many at this point in time. So it's showing like we are walking in the steps that we're supposed to be walking in.
Right. And then I love my acting teacher. I love the class that I'm in, because I have a Black female acting teacher that's a leader, and she's like really good because she keeps it fun. She keeps it like professional, but she's always on the side making sure she's encouraging at the same time. My last acting class, it was okay, but it's like a lot of yelling.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of and that was around the time where everything was stressful. I was in the fire. I was working for the city I was working for, and yeah, I had to study for this, and this, and I'm getting yelled at. Well, people around me, because I wasn't getting. I think I got probably cussed out at one time.
Oh my goodness!
But it was like a good cursing out. But everybody else getting yelled at. So I'm like, I'm in a very toxic environment. I do not want to be in this class. And then when I saw this class after the change and everything, I was like, this feels good. Like, everything feels great. Like, every time I come home from class, I'm always smiling.
Yeah, you are. And I see you light up. And that's what I love. I love seeing you light up whenever you're acting and whenever you're working on your craft. And like, you've been hustling, and I'm proud of that. So I just think that obviously, like, it's been hard to like go through that full transition. And like, we sum it up in like right now, like it was just so easy. But like during it, like that it really put a toll on our marriage.
It did.
It put a toll on our relationship. It put a toll on us as individuals. And we really had to like figure out how to just love each other through that, through the changes.
When you think about it too, I was never home.
Yeah, you weren't. Yeah, when you're a fireman. And I hated that.
It was different from the academy where, because, as a fireman, you're at the station for 24 hours. 24 hours, maybe just less if you're working half a shift, but the normal is 24 hours. And it was at the academy, I come home at 5.
Yeah.
When I was working at Houston's schedule was so beautiful. Houston's schedule was you work a day, you off a day. You work a day, you off 5 days. If we would have stayed there, that would have been great, but it wouldn't have worked out acting-wise in Houston.
Yeah.
So coming here, the schedule was good still. And work a day, off 2 days. That's not bad. But those 2 days I'm off, I'm either studying, or I'm either in advanced EMT class, or I'm either in my acting class, or I'm like on the road to go take the test in a city that's 4 hours away, which was crazy to me. I was like, why do I got to drive 4 hours to go take this test?
Yeah.
And like I was never home. And then when I came home, I was angry because I'm like, I'm tired, I'm irritated, but I can't sleep.
Yeah, so at that point in time, why are you not thinking about, oh, let me connect with my
Let
wife,
me
my
like
newlywed wife?
let me rub my wife's shoulder
Yeah,
at
you're
least.
not
I
thinking
was
about that. You're just like, I am pissed and I'm tired and I'm just like, I'm sitting here. I haven't seen
angry.
you for like 2 days because our schedules weren't lining up
Then there was
because
days I was working double
yes,
overtime.
and it was just
Ooh.
crazy.
Which not overtime I wanted. When at that station, when somebody called in, you're just next up on deck sometimes. So it was days where I'm like, me and my wife got dinner plans. This is the time that I can like see my wife after not seeing her for like a couple like hours and stuff, or like a day or two. And they say, "Hey Harris, unfortunately you're on the bubble and nobody wants to come in. So now you got to work another 24 hours."
Yeah.
So when I'm telling you after 48 hours, I'm looking at you like,
I know.
get out of my face.
So with that too, like, so how do you feel like looking back on it now? How do you feel like we continue to love each other through transition?
Therapy. That therapy was
Therapy was like the tool
I'm so
you
mad
used.
that I don't work for the fire department now because I don't have that insurance to get that actual therapist, because I am doing everything I can to like find a way to get back to him. That therapy was everything.
Yeah.
I mean, even because you sat down one time, because it was just the therapy was just for me and him.
Yeah.
So you sat down there one time and he connected with you in a way that you understood, like, wow, like I could see why my husband is like talking about this therapist and coming back to this therapist and like doing his, like I was actually doing homework.
So you feel like that's what helped you as far as
Yes.
getting back on track with our marriage?
That was 10 times. It helped out, like, cause then there was like small incidents with like social media and like being on social media too much. Then there was like one incident where we had a fallout of social media because we don't want to discuss it right now. That's for another episode. But
yeah, we'll talk about that at a different time.
We'll talk about that at a different time. Just know, fellas, I don't even just don't be entertaining. That's all I gotta say.
Yep.
Don't entertain.
So
But we'll talk about that in another episode.
Yeah,
but
next week.
but oh my god. But anyways, it was just the fact that like even telling him that and like he wasn't that therapist that was like technical. He was off the book. He was street with it. He was like, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. What you did was dumb. Or the fact that you not trying to take the time out from being so tired of work and stuff to be with your wife is dumb. He said, I don't care how. He said, after I get off this call with you, I'm about to go hug my wife. I have 6 other clients.
Yeah.
In between my clients, I let my wife know I love her. And I met his wife one time. She was nice. Like, I had to learn, I don't care how tired I am. I need to make sure that you know that I'm here and you know that I love you. And then you know that I'm not going anywhere and I'm always going to be here. No matter how irritated I may be, no matter how tired I may be, I'm not going to bed mad at you.
Yeah.
So that's what made me realize that therapy, even though it was only for like 2 months, that therapy was everything.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And then like for me, I think during that time, I just had to learn how to give you grace because I know that you were going through a lot, and I know for me, whenever I'm going through like lots of hard times and stuff, I have to pause for a second and really just like be by myself and like get back on track. And I think that I had to just figure out what is it that like he needed me to do in order to be there for him. Was it that I needed to try to be Superwoman, like solve everything? Like, no, that's not what you needed. Was it me trying to like tell you need to do this and that and like be like, the hard ASS? No, that's not what you needed. Like, you just needed me to listen.
Yeah.
You just needed me to listen. But it took me forever to realize, Megan, just shut up. He just needs you to listen and just be there. And it sucks that it, like, looking back, like, how long it took me to really, like, figure that out. But I'm glad that it did, just as far as us really, like, starting off, like, being in that newlywed space and trying to figure out life in this new city. It really forced us to lean on each other by going through that. And, I mean, coming out on the other side now, it feels better. Like, it feels like we have a plan. We're solid. We went through that. And obviously, like, there's always going to be, like, the ups and downs and hills and valleys. But I know at the end of the day that me and you are on the same team. Right. And we're on this path. We understand it. And as long as we get it, we understand it. Like, we're going to survive through all the changes that continue to happen. Because there's always going to be changes and transitions in life. No matter what. So how are we going to love each other through the changes? It's going to be different every time. But each lesson we learn on the positive way, that's what's going to help us.
Because there's still going to be good changes that can be stressful. Like when acting takes off like heavenly for me, and things go great, and like I'm like getting big roles where I have to go do this, do that. Now it's the fact that, oh man, my husband's on the road now, or there's the fact that the other aspect of you wants to get into public speaking. You wanted to get up into like the whole relationship aspect of talking to different people. There'll be days where I'm like, she didn't listen to me. Why she telling that woman to listen to that man? There are gonna be roads.
Yeah.
No matter how bad the change is or how good the change is, there are going to be stressful roads that we still have to drive down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have to learn to take a pit stop every now and then and say, oh, okay, I love you.
Yeah.
Because I realized when I first met
love you too.
I would always tell you that you're beautiful. Oh my God, you're stunning. And then I realized last year, like not in the academy, I think I was still doing the same thing. But like since we've been here and I've been stressed out, I stopped telling you how beautiful you looked. And I stopped telling you like, oh my God, that dress, that booty, that this and that, like the makeup, the hair, the way you did it. I stopped telling you all that. And you would remind me like, you don't say those things to me no more. And I'm talking like we've been together for like 10 years. But still, that aspect of like you doing it now is gonna help in the future.
Yeah, so
like,
when 10 years from now, you'll still be saying that.
Yeah, because I looked at you, I was very upset. I was very upset to record this morning because I was tired. I was tired and I was like, I want to watch football.
Always tired,
I want to watch football.
Greg is always tired.
I'm always tired,
He gets that from his father.
Yeah.
Who always says he's tired. So I just ignore it.
My dad be tired though. My dad be tired. He don't be tired.
No, you don't be tired either, but that's just what you guys say, and it's fine.
That's what we say.
It's fine.
We have so much.
I do things my mom used to do too, and I'm like,
here's the weird part about it. Here's the weird part about it. Me and my dad say we so tired, and when everybody be tired, we be just up.
Yes.
Because you go to sleep, and I just be like, shit, I thought I was tired.
That's why you be tired, because you need to go to sleep. But
I can't stand it, man.
But yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, we went through all of this and we've learned quite a bit. And I'm thankful for the struggle through the transition, the changes.
Yes.
And I wouldn't take it back for any other reason. But I'm glad that I have a partner like you to go through this with in life.
Yeah.
Because I think that we balance each other out really, really well. And at the end of the day, I know that you're my best friend. You're going to be there for me. You support me. And I hope you know that for vice versa as well, that I'm going to be there for you. And we're going to make it through it all. Yeah, because whatever career changes we have after that, it's going to be good.
Yeah, because 2 pieces of advice I want to give fellas out there. Fellas, there's one is being financially stable with your partner. And that's a struggle that I'm still going through with right now. Because I don't want to sit up here and make it seem like we're a perfect couple. This is why that's why we have this platform.
We're figuring it out.
Yeah, get it together. This is why
we're getting it together.
The title didn't just make itself up like, oh, it just sounds good. No, we are actually really getting it together. Yeah. And I have financial burdens and I put it on my wife, and that's something I'm figuring out. I'm trying to get together right now, still to this day. So as I look back on that, I'm like, that's something I need to work on. It's something I'm going to say publicly. So now I'm like held accountable now. Mm-hmm. And it's something that we need to really fix. And to get off topic, because everybody seems like they're like making a podcast. If you feel like you about to make a podcast, stop.
Don't do that. Stop. That's rude.
Stop it.
I will just say, I think you're saying that because
podcasts are being like given a bad name.
Yes, but it's because of like
the bad advice that a lot of people.
We're just never gonna do something that's gonna be for like clickbait.
No,
and I think that's what it's become.
If you about to sit up here and make me sound like I'm like, if you want me to sit up here and sound like I'm Kevin James, please stop, because I'm literally gonna say my wife.
Kevin James.
Kevin Sanders.
We don't name drop. Stop. No, we're not gonna give.
He is a famous celebrity. Oh my God, Kevin Sanders is a famous celebrity. We are not name dropping. No, I'm saying if you want me to give advice to fellas like that on this podcast, that's not what I'm here for. We are literally here to lift each other up. We're not here for clout. We're not here for clickbait, like you said.
Yeah. We're here to learn and grow.
Yes.
And get our lives together.
So if you're trying to start a podcast, stop.
Do what you need to do in life. But with that, on that note, thank you so much again for getting your life together with us. You can always find me on IG at Dr. Megan Harris.
And you can find me on IG at Greg K. Harris Jr.
And be sure you're checking in with us at Get It Together on all our socials.
And YouTube.
And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
All right, now.